and welcome to the PKR.com London Cash Game. It's a scorching day here in the capital and the heat is on for our select group of pros and qualifiers. The chips have been flying back and forth, but the sun has definitely been shining on Mr. Scott Shelley.
675 and a call.
Well, at least he only calls. And, this is when you hate the game, isn't it? You think you got the pot locked up and you see the better straight.
2 bits, 410. 410.
What's the flush?
Shelley has shown strength right from the start of this hand. Wow. He just didn't believe him. Yeah. He's going to believe now. That is a heroic laydown.
Oh, he's just gone all in.
He's gone all in with 7 deuce, and what a time to do that. That's one of those horrible moments. It could have been such a heroic bluff. In the end, he found Shelley with the bullets, and that was all she wrote, I'm afraid.
Without further ado, let's join our commentators.
Yeah, Scott has not been in the shade here. Tom Fleischer, he's 1840. He was down a bit more than that early, so that's a good comeback for him. There's Scott, who we'll hear from in a moment. He's $2,500 to the good. Must be nice. Daniel Moose is in seat 3, suffering around about a $500 loss up to this point. He has got time to recover. Scott Gledhill is in a similar position. He's in seat 4. Mark Chandler is a new player at the table, so he starts, as they all did initially, with $2,000. And Kyle McPherson in seat 6, doing very nicely, thank you, $1,370 to the good. Blinds are $5 and $10. Simon Hemsworth with me again, and so too Scott Shelley. How are you, Scott? Nice to see you.
Good, thank you. Nice to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Just very briefly, before we go to this hand, just talk us through that marvellous double-up we saw in the last show. Your aces against Ashley Hames, 7 deuce. Could you believe it when he turned his cards over?
Not really. I mean, I didn't expect him to shut with the 7 deuce off, but there was something about what he did that made me think he was going to go with his hand from once he raised me. So I didn't really have much decision there. Just got the chips in.
Well, it was very profitable for you.
Yeah, not even a sweat. Here I am, the card rat, picking up 2 queens now.
So how many months is it?
How did you do that trick? I've tried that. It never works for me. Aces, now queens.
It doesn't happen as much as I'd like it to, I'm afraid.
Right.
It's weird, isn't it? Your wife's there.
So raise to 85.
This baby is really, really small, and then you walk in.
And that gets the job done. It's always a bit frustrating, isn't it, when you get a big hand like that and you get no business.
I mean, I expected to get a bit more action just because I'd shown down some big hands, so I thought maybe I'm trying to put some pressure on him now. But seeing back that he had the king deuce suited, I didn't think he could have done anything more to get some more action.
What do you know about Mark Chandler, Simon? Because I have down here that one of his aliases is Mr. Niceness. No room in poker for nice guys, is there?
I've known him a few years and I actually have no idea where he got that nickname.
I was waiting for him to pipe it.
He's a nice guy, he's from Cheshire, he's pretty much your classic public school boy. And you can tell by how he looks, really. I think he's had that same haircut since he was about 2.
Right, okay. Rather stereotypical of you, anyway, okay. We'll see. Charlie with the Jack Queen. And I can kind of see where you're coming from. He's got that kind of studious look about him. Fleischer's picked up pocket 90. No queens this time.
Nah, I couldn't find it that time. I think that was like 4 hands in a row. I had really huge hands in an orbit. So I had to stop at some point.
Who mentioned that? A lot of people.
So,
5, 2.
We assumed
oh yeah, that's improvement.
pretty much a rag flop, king high.
Yeah, we have
expect this to go bet and cool. Can't really see anything else happening there.
Facebook has confirmed it, apparently.
The wonders of the internet, Tom. Make people believe anything, can't you, mate?
Photoshop.
Player 1, please.
Cheap so far for Fleischer to see a turn card. He's got second pair here, and that will effectively make him a little more secure. Chances of Chandler having a king reduced by the fact that there's 2 on the board.
Mark was probably looking for like some sort of equity on the turn to bet with, like an ace or a 10 or hitting a pair. But that's a really bad turn card to keep betting on.
Do you think he barrels through any other turns apart from cards that give him equity?
I think like, early on in the session he's a lot less likely to do that because, I don't know, people sort of, early in sessions they sort of want to feel their way in and not do anything too crazy.
The link to this
is the like, nut low card for him on the turn.
Yeah.
Tough time, Scott.
What's the deal with...
It seemed like there was a really good vibe around the table, Scott. Everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I mean, we all know each other, all, either regs or pros from the site, so it's, just, it's nice when you've got your friends at the table, the conversation's always flowing.
Lucky for us.
Always a bit of a rivalry there, but only friendly. Most of the time, anyway.
ribbing people well.
Player 1 raises to 25.
Fleischer bumps it up with the 3-4 suited.
Player 2
I
folds.
just wanted to stop for a second.
Have you died your Abalone?
Moose has been relatively quiet.
Player 4 calls.
I don't know if I believe that.
15
And
more.
Gledhill's found a hand here.
Player 5 folds.
This is what the people have been waiting for.
I just called so I could chat you in the hand without being rude.
Yeah. King. 5. Player 4 checks.
Do you think you have an edge playing a lot of live poker, Tom?
Well, this gives Fleischer the ability to
Player 1
see bet with confidence. He's made a flush draw here. Gledhill
4 calls.
as a gut shot.
I did think Scott would 3-bet that pre-flop actually, but the call's
6.
okay.
Player 4 checks.
And I think his check call on the flop's pretty standard.
I would love
Draw here for Fleischer. Flush draw and up and down. So any deuce,
Player 1
any
bet
7, any spade. 4 or 3 would also work. That's why it's nearly 50-50, as you can see from those percentages. And the bet gets the job
I
done.
feel like gut shots are good in Hold'em, but I don't know.
They're good if they come in, usually.
Yeah.
What with like Queen 9?
I think that's true, isn't it? Gut shots are good if they come in.
Yeah.
Stating the obvious there, I was.
Scott, what's it like for you to hit all your gut shots anyway?
It's not too bad, not too bad.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to PKR live, but wasn't it? The last one.
Dan, it's just straddle, mate.
They're doing a shot. The green room's doing a shot.
No, that doesn't count.
Mate, that's a
Before lunch, I was one straddling.
It's almost like 6 lads sitting in their local having a friendly beer, and someone just happens to be dealing a few cards as well.
But to be fair, before lunch, I think he
Doesn't feel like we're playing a cash game.
4 raises to
It was
55.
pre-flop, then it would just be check fold on the flop.
Yeah, then it would just be
Player
give up.
5 folds. 55 to call.
Look at this,
6
Dan
calls.
straddled and work out with a nice hand in the straddle.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Fleischer's got the same hand. This could be fun. 10-jack suited for McPherson as well here. And Gledhill is the raiser with by
Player
far the
1
worst of
raises
it.
to 210. 200 more. Player 2 folds. 190 more.
Always on your straddle, mate, eh?
Come on, hamster cheeks.
Hamster cheek. Why are you making a decision as well? That's uncalled for.
I mean, Dan's kind of now having to decide if he wants to take the stacks.
Well, call the flop on you, it's not just Tom.
That's really bad. I don't know what he's doing
Player
there.
4 folds and player 6 folds.
What did you fold?
I remember him talking about this hand. Worried this.
I mean, it's just...
Can we have a group Skype chat while we're watching it?
It's just really
No,
tight.
because I have not one hand.
So what would you have done with the with Moose's ace king? Would you just flattered it, or would you have bumped it again?
I would have just got it all in, really. I mean, I've made it, you know, 450 or something, 500, and just gone with it. But, I
Okay,
mean,
so
just,
give the guy a decision for his chips,
yeah,
basically.
but it's ace king, it's in a pretty aggressive cash game. I know you are $2,000 deep, but still, I just think that is far superior to folding there.
I'll give you a 5-4.
You know, you can't just wait for aces and kings all the time.
What do you want?
Player 5 raises to 55.
What
6 folds.
What, I can just make whatever
Well,
I want?
we'll
Just
think
say a
about it,
number
mate.
to start with. Well, like, because I might say
Ah,
something
here we
a lot more. I always
go.
get done when I do this.
Cool. Player 1 calls 50.
I'll give you 2.
Smooth call from Fleischer with the ace-10. The raise was from Chandler with the 7-8 offsuit.
Okay, let's call it 2-1 then.
Oh, sweet.
Well, Musa has another decent ace. We saw him lay down the ace-king in the last hand.
Huh? Definitely offsuit.
Okay, well you can have both, mate. You can have offsuit.
Can I get better odds for the...
Offsuit, yeah, you're right, you can have 2
9.
off.
So, player 3
Quick
checks.
to everyone,
4
isn't it?
checks.
Just to craft the interest back, mate, that's pretty well.
Mark's picked up the draw.
Yeah, Mark's probably got the.
Yeah.
He's like the most happy with this flop.
Player 5 bets 115.
Wouldn't be surprised to just get through.
115 to call. Player 1 folds. Player 3 and player 4.
Yeah, we can see that the pocket ducks are ahead, but it's so difficult when someone bets and you've got effectively 4th pair.
Yeah, and 2 people behind, not to mention that.
Yeah.
Doesn't help things.
I think I lost like 7 buy-ins or something.
That sounds right.
In about 10 minutes.
That sounds right. Didn't Simon do the same thing with you, Scott?
Yeah, Simon beat me.
This is your last hand.
Mine's
6,
I gave it up.
Why'd you give me
So-
3 cards?
I was playing really small,
Yeah.
so like it was fine, but
Yeah,
I was playing
Neil
50.
Dave's really good at
Hello. Like he doesn't even know me, but a guy.
So Musa has the button here,
He's
a really cool guy, Dave.
and there has been a straddle, so it's 20 to play for Fleischer.
Player 1 folds.
But like, yeah, after
2
running
folds.
pretty bad, I decided to
3
just give it up forever.
Player
My
4
favourite blog
folds.
of his, right, was when they were blogging about where they had to find
Tentacle.
girls to go.
In TGI's.
I was pretty embarrassed. They all
Almost
ended
going
up
to call with any 2 there for another 10.
Jake,
all in.
wasn't it Jake and someone else had 2 like
That's
little
it.
right
Raise
ones?
it up.
I don't know.
Like they were like obviously all older, but they were like yeah, it was like manageable sort of thing. But the others were like
2.
proper like hillbillies.
Yeah, I remember just seeing like
7.
quick pictures, skimming it, and just be like, you guys.
You're a fan of this line from the big blind side.
Thousands of pounds.
Remind me of the pre-flop action. Yeah, who
I
did
think-
somebody straddle?
Player
do
5
it.
I think
bets.
Kai-
There was a straddle, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather bring a hook.
Oh, did Kai not just open from under the gun, or he
No,
straddled?
that goes up.
No, I think there was a straddle.
Ah,
I think
okay,
Kai
okay,
straddled,
that makes way more
Yeah.
sense to me. Yeah.
Sorry, Mum.
9.
I mean, I think
Yeah, no, I
the
didn't
trouble,
realise.
yeah, the trouble with completing, which is okay, would just be that you just leave yourself open to straddle to just raise your in position. So
No, at first I thought
Yeah.
Kai opened under the gun and then Mark 3 bet from
It
the
must be in
big,
the
so
intro. It'll be like this.
it's a bit confusing to me.
Yeah, the soundboard.
Player 5 bets.
yeah, and again, Mark's
140.
turned equity here, so like he's just going to barrel all the time, and Kai has a load of like the hands that he has, like just floats, like ace high stuff that can't really continue. You're not going to hit a 7 deuce deuce flop very often.
Cool story, bro.
Is that it? I'm out. Same before.
Actually, would have hit that flop. Nobody else though.
That's cruel. You're just rubbing it in now, aren't you?
You don't need
Poor
it.
Ash.
How did you do, Dapper? I lost about 800, I think.
So Daniel Musa's
Good day out.
time is 9. He has to leave us. His time's up.
Hey, he's played more hands
Let's
today
go and
than
have a
he has
chat with
this
him.
year.
Yeah, I was going to come in here and rant, actually.
Let it out. That's what we're here for.
I think I picked up Ace King about 4 times. I'm disgusted with myself, what I just did just before. I think it was a straddle, somebody opened, Tom 3-bet it to quite big, I think, 255 or something, and I elected to fold my Ace King like a good little
So
nit.
if you could do it all again, what would you do?
I probably couldn't really do very much else. I had no hands. I had jacks once and Ace King about 4 times, bricked every flop. I probably should have 4-bet Tom when he had Ace King. He said he had Ace King, so maybe I would have been able to get him off it. I doubt it. We would have gone in the middle. I ran terribly, like I have done live poker all year. So it's one of those.
Anyone's play that you're admiring in there? Playing quite well.
I think Scott Shelley's playing great, but he is running amazingly as he always does.
I was going to say, I haven't seen his cards.
He's a good friend of mine, but I hope he wins. But I think he's picked up kings, aces.
Nice,
He got aces all in versus deuce 7 of Ashley Hames, so that must be nice. I don't know what it's like to have a life like
when
that.
someone just like runs into you like that.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
I did. It pains me to say it because I never really have fun unless I win, but yeah, I guess I did. Yeah.
Well, we hope to see you here sometime soon.
I'll
Well
be
done.
back.
It's like king versus king.
Welcome back to the PKR London Cash game. 6 good men and true, and 3 in the commentary box. I'm alongside Scott Shelley and Simon Hemsworth. Who do you think is the most aggressive player at this table, Scott? Is it you, or is there someone even more hyper-aggressive in
Oh,
you?
it's definitely not me. It's actually, I was just going to mention that the seat to my left has changed quite dramatically, because we've gone from Dan, who plays quite snug, to Will, who plays quite the opposite. So I'd say you'll probably see soon that he's probably the most aggressive now at the table.
Yeah, Will Dorey, as you can see, has taken over in Dan Moose's position.
Straight in there with the Queen 8 off.
Got show one.
I love how we've been going to be doing it for 20 minutes. No one's done it. And now Will's joined this first time. Gets done.
I'm enforced.
Let's just do next door neighbour enforced.
He's cashed in the World Series, in the EPT and the WPT. Will Dorey, 27 now.
Yeah.
So he's certainly not going to be intimidated in this company.
It was when we were in the UKIPT.
No, Will likes a battle. He likes he actually I think prefers it when it's more tough competition.
55, seat 3.
Oh, welcome to the table, Will. Pocket Queens.
35, seat 4. Pass, seat 5. Pass.
You can see he's not going to get much credit for light hands, I think.
Oh, Fleischer has got jacks. This could be a bit of a car crash for him.
Yeah, it's just called, which with deep stacks, I think is fine.
What's Gledhill thinking about here?
Call, seat 3.
He's got two callers.
I'm surprised that Will just flattered there.
I'm a bit surprised too.
Wow,
oh, wow.
There's a jack. It's a set for Fleischer and Dorey with an overpair to the board.
Check, seat 3.
Gut shot for Gledhill. That's of minimal consequence, but he's got to come out betting. He was the initial raiser.
See how Tom wants to play his top set.
Flat or raise?
With Will behind, I like a flat. I think you're only going to scare off a lot of hands by raising. There's going to be a lot of hands you peel here rather than raising. Going for the raise.
615, seat 1.
Yeah, the trouble with raising is it just looks really strong.
Pass.
Did he miss any value there, do you think, Scott?
Yeah, I think he definitely did. I mean, you saw
one
from
card that's not a jack.
mucking the queens.
I've got to pick one.
Only really good hands.
Hey, what a shock!
And the cheers you can hear is because he's shown at least one of those jacks. Well, you might have known there's a bit of a rivalry between Scott Gledhill and Tom Fleischer. Let's try and find out what it's all about.
Got a bit of a nemesis at the table, I was feeling.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about this history.
We met online, obviously. We didn't actually even play together.
This is Fleischer, by the way.
He gave a couple of my friends a lot of aggro, and so I defended him a little bit on the forums and stuff. And then he started following me around on my table. He was like laughing when I lost pots and being like really unclassy, like. Because it's okay to give people a bit of banter, but there's limits, I think. But we do have a bit of history, so I tried to needle him a little bit. I was asking him about his girlfriend and stuff, trying to get him.
You weren't getting much back though,
No,
were you?
that's the problem. That's the problem. Like, we can't have too much aggro because it's really quiet in real life.
We thought we'd give you the chance to stand in your corner as well and tell us
I guess it's
what's
Scotty.
behind her.
Is that Scotty?
Yeah.
That was maybe 2-3 years ago, but you know, he's a terrible player, and I'm not playing him any day of the week. Just send me a message, Scotty. We'll play.
And that's it.
That's it.
It's clearly mostly in jest now, but on a sort of slightly more serious note, gents, when you're playing online, if you get someone making a few little needle-type comments in the chat box, how do you react to it? Do you ignore it, or do you come back at them?
I tend to try and ignore it, but I might say something that doesn't come across rude, but sort of puts them in their place a bit. Once in a while.
What about you, Simon?
It's like Scott said, like banter in poker's good. It's good for a bit of friendly banter, but when it goes beyond that, it's just, you know.
There's kind of a line you shouldn't cross.
Yeah, it's a bit uncalled for. That I think rivalries and stuff in poker are quite good and funny. It's only good when people they go through with their actions and it's not all just talk.
Okay, we've got a pot here between McPherson and Chandler.
Call.
McPherson has raised it with just king 6. Chandler's called him. No help for either.
But I did have a hand that could have continued on some turns. Did you really? Yeah. That's crazy.
I think Mark's going to continue on this flop in some form or another.
Do you think he's more likely to raise or just
I think
pure
he's
one?
probably more likely to float because his hand just has good equity, and I don't know, I guess raising this looks a bit too suspicious.
Will McPherson fire again? Not this time. Here's the river.
I'm talking nonsense for no reason. It's getting hot.
Chandler was ahead anyway, but that's just given him a little bit of additional insurance.
You going to Vegas?
Yeah, I think he's pretty confident he's got the best of it now.
No idea. We booked second to the 6th.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get called by anything unless Kyle hit like a worse jack as well.
Taking 4 of my jobber friends, so things couldn't go too boring. Cool. Otherwise, you know me, mate, it would have been sweet.
Are you playing a bunch of PLO lengths?
Do you like a check on the river there, side? The king jack.
People don't really do the line of bet, flop, check, turn, bet river as a bluff. Yeah. I guess I slightly prefer check just in case he does decide to bluff, but I think he's going to do it so rarely anyway that he might as well just bet.
Pass seat 6.
I'm sure when I think you should let like Sophia or
Pass seat
yeah,
1.
well, obviously I don't mind. Yeah.
Well, as ever, no shortage of table chat here.
What was I gonna say? Yeah,
Pass seat 2.
I'm sure when they bring in the new people.
Not picked up any pairs for at least 5 minutes, Scott. Something's wrong
I told you,
somewhere.
it's not. I don't run as good as everyone thinks. I just get people to punt in 7 deuce once in a while.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we saw that. We like that.
I liked it.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah, our time got. I know I came in early because Ashley busted. Yeah. Our time got raised back by 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not praying. I'm not doing plans.
Action on Fleischer.
Pass seat 1.
Been a straddle here, so 20 to call. Got a suited ace here, Scott.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to open this.
60.
It's about gets into the range of hands I'm going to open.
Call seat 3.
Similar kind of hand for Dory.
Pass seat 4. Pass
Yeah, I
seat
think I remember
5.
this hand now.
Pass seat 6.
Don't ruin the suspense.
Oh no, I won't.
So a couple of clubs on board, which gives you a nut flush draw. Dory ahead courtesy of his 4s.
75 seat 2.
When you're watching him decide here, Scott, do you want a call? What do you want him to do? He's raised as it happens.
I prefer him just to peel one. I mean, he's made it quite tricky for me now. He's raising from the button, so now I'm going to be playing the hand out of position. And I think I decide to flat just because I don't really want to play for stacks, knowing that if I do get it in, I'm going to be just going for a flush draw. Like, my ace isn't going to be good. I mean, I could be up against like the 9-10 of clubs once in a while, but that's like the only hand that I've got really good equity against.
Check seat 2.
He picked up a gut shot as well.
Yeah, it improves my hand with the gut shot, but it's not really a great card. I know any 6s are straight, and also the 3 I need to hit might not be good either.
375 seat 3.
So what's your thought process here? He's bet 375, pot's now 980.
It's a bit of a tricky spot for me. I'm not really liking it. You can see I'm having a little ponder here. I mean, I'd like it a lot more if I was in position, just so I can get to at last every street, and then if I do hit a club, I can maybe get some value. Here I just think it's going to be tricky for me to win the pot. Even if I hit a club, am I going to get value?
Pass.
And being the nit I am, I let it go.
I also give Dory credit for a good bet on the end. They're just a bit too expensive, wasn't it?
That was good.
Yeah.
I did not flush you.
Shot, mate.
I think Will revealed the 4 and I let him know it was good. He was quite surprised.
20 straddle, seat 1.
So you heard our dealer say there's a straddle. It's from Fleischer. So that means the action will be on Scott. And it'll be $20 to play.
Pass, seat 2.
It's one of those hands that gets a lot of amateurs into trouble. Jack 10 offsuit, they look at it and think, oh, that looks quite nice, and they lose money with it in the long run.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever fold Jack 10 suited in a 6-handed game, but Jack 10 off is definitely enough for me to fold under the gun, especially at a table where I feel there's a lot of good players that are going to give me some action behind, put me in some tricky spots. Much rather play that hand in position.
In days before computers, in the old Wild West, 100 plus years ago, they used to think that 10 Jack suited was the best starting hand in the game. We've learned a little since then. Queen high board. It's hit neither Fleischer nor Dory, but it hasn't stopped a bet from the latter.
Pass, seat 1.
Show 1.
Easy game. Don't have to hit, just have to put a bet in and tell a convincing story. He's made a good start, has Will Dory. Let's see exactly how good a start we can check. All the players' chip stacks here. Well, Scott's still going great guns, 22.45 in front. McPherson is nearly $1,000 to the good. Fleischer is up 500 odd. Chandler, a similar story. Big loser is Gledhill, who is down almost $1,000. Plenty more action, though, for you to enjoy when we come back. Welcome back to London and this cash game. I'm Trevor Harris alongside Scott Shelley and Simon Hemsworth.
1-3, sorry, yeah.
An impressive stack in front of you there, Scott. I mean, normally against maybe less experienced players, they might be intimidated by that, but I don't think they are here.
Yeah, no, I've actually probably got the least cash game experience out of the table here, so yeah, I don't expect them to be intimidated by a big stack of chips.
55, seat 5. 6. Pass.
Are you looking to get more cash game experience, or is it still mainly tournaments for you?
I've definitely opened up a lot more into cash over the last year or so, but before that it was literally 90% tournaments. But yeah, I think cash games are definitely good to mix in.
Pot here between Chandler and a new Scott. Small pot so far, ace high board.
Check, seat 2. Seat 5. Pass.
Kind of nitty, but...
Well, bottom pair, no kicker. I don't think we can blame you too much for that.
Should have maybe peeled 1.
Yeah, you're just thinking about future streets, how you're going to play it on one pair. There's loads of really bad turning river cards, it's just really difficult.
Yeah, I don't expect Mark to just give up once I call 1.
No, that's the problem.
Seat 3, 20 straddle.
I'm rooting for you, mate.
It's not pot limit, so you can just...
Why are you doing Ashley, just make it 100 to go.
Yeah, it's not pot limit, so you can just...
I didn't look, I promise. Nah, that's a lie.
60, seat 4.
Nice starting hand here for Scott Gledhill, ace jack.
Pass, seat 5, pass, seat 6.
Walking sticks for Fleischer.
Call, seat 1. Pass, seat 2.
Will to be making up with a lot of hands here. 9-6 suited definitely comes into that category.
Yeah, it's a pretty good hand to wake up with there.
Check
Plenty
seat
of
one.
paint on there. Gledhill has hit the jack.
Check seat 3, check seat 4.
Awkward, isn't it, when you're holding a pair of sevens and there's two opponents, two overcards on board. Three overcards, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, I won't expect Tom to be putting an aggressive bet in here unless he does catch a 7 on the river.
Check seat 1.
He didn't.
Pass seat 2.
Yeah, he's pretty sure that his 9 high wasn't good.
110.
Gledhill bets out with the jacks.
Pass.
Got him. Got him.
And the right decision, so it's a pot for Scott Gledhill. Not a massive one, but all contributions gratefully accepted. We heard earlier about his rivalry with Tom Fleischer, mostly tongue-in-cheek. Let's find out a bit more about Scott Gledhill and his poker background.
What's your sort of background like? What sort of games do you play?
I actually
normally?
don't play any Hold'em. I play Omaha only.
Oh, okay.
So
complete change for you.
Yeah, I haven't actually played any Hold'em since Vegas 3 years ago. So.
Do we need to give you a book or something?
I've been reading up on hand charts and stuff. I think I've got it. But I do watch my friend play, so I'm hoping that'll help me.
Oh my
but
word.
I do expect to be like a slight underdog, but we'll see how it goes.
Just remember, you're only getting 2 cards, so don't try and grab that.
And I can use one. I've been learning.
And have you ever played with TV cameras on you before?
No, I don't think I have.
Do you think it's going to affect you in any way?
Positively, I think. I'll thrive in the spotlight. No, I don't know. I think it'll just be fun. Yeah.
I think the fact that everyone at home is going to be able to see your cards, that's the main thing. Are you going to do like anything a bit more crazy, or try and get some bluffs through maybe?
Probably. I'm going to have to spend most of the time figuring out what I'm doing.
First of all, get through that barrier.
Yeah, once I'm like, okay, I kind of get this game now, then I'll start to adjust and annoy people a bit, I hope.
Well, most poker players are super confident when we speak to them. I don't think we can accuse Scott Gledhill of that.
I think deep down he's very confident in his abilities.
Found out it's impossible.
Got to have a lot of guts to play Omaha, I tell you, to any kind of stakes. It's a game with huge swings.
Yeah, I think Scott, of all people as well, has his style in PLO means especially big swings.
We saw your face. You're like,
Picked up the 7s here.
60,
Scott?
Yeah, easy open for me on the button. I think there's been a straddle from Mark, so I had to make it a bit more.
Cool.
I'm the aggressive call, Scott.
Trust me.
Well, your namesake's in with the ace-10. Chandler with an ace-8 suited. Slight discount because he was already in on the straddle. So 350 in the middle here. And Chandler, in fact, has bumped this up to 225. Here's a move.
Pass.
Yeah, this is one of the hands I wasn't looking forward to watching. Yeah, that was pretty nitty on my side there. I mean, I have my reasons for folding there. I mean, I just feel like I should be calling a lot of flops, and I'm going to be putting a lot of tough decisions in a big pot.
I was going to say, there weren't many flops you'd really like to see in pocket 7s against 2 opponents.
There isn't, but I know there's going to be flops that I don't hit a 7 on that I'm going to have to continue on.
Yeah.
And the pot's going to be bloated. And in the end, Scott jammed, so it sort of made me feel like he was trapping me, but he wasn't really. The ace-10 on.
Bad one, mate. Bad one.
So that's a nice pot for Gledhill there.
That is a problem. You weren't closing the action with the 7s as well, so you got another guy to act behind you. You're effectively with 7s. You're just hoping to hit a set because pretty much even
on a low board, you're worried about an overpair.
10-3-2, it looks like a really good flop, but it's still going to be really difficult to play.
Yeah, exactly. It's a flop I'm going to have to continue, but I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've done enough self-promoting. Got 5 minutes, guy.
Playable hand for Fleischer, Queen 10 suited, so he's called Chandler's raise.
Since they made $500,000.
Have you?
Yeah, thank you.
Does that count as a rag ace, Scott, ace-8?
That's nice.
I wouldn't say it's a raggy ace. It's not a great ace, but I think with the odds I'm getting here, it's easy peel, really.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Some people would maybe free bet, but me being in it, just gonna see a flop there.
Check seat 1, check seat 2. 75.
Well, everyone's missed that high, wide and handsome. There's a gut shot for Fleischer. Jack makes him a straight.
Yeah, I can't see him letting it go just yet. Backdoor diamonds to add to his cause.
Yeah, he's
seat 1.
folding.
Pass seat 2.
There's me folding the best of it as usual.
Check seat 1. Check seat 5.
Well, brick on the end. But imagine first bet wins.
Check seat 1.
Oh, base high.
And no need for either of them to bet.
I'm very surprised Fleischer didn't bet that river.
Well, it was probably the only way he could win the pot, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and as well, Mark just had a look of him like he was giving up on the turn, but unfortunately some of his giving up hands are better than Queen High.
Well, we'll play to Chartler, who increases his chip stack. Things hotting up here at the PKR London Cash Game. We're back in just a moment.
Cultivate your off-star image.
Welcome back to London. Cards about to go in the air again. Blinds 5 and 10, and there's the straddle option, which has been taken up here. So it's $20 to play. Dory has made the straddle.
Pass seat 4.
Although he didn't do much, to be fair.
Chartler's been very active at this table, Simon. Is that his usual MO?
Yeah, actually he's he works full time. He's not actually a poker pro, so I think he doesn't get to play too often anymore. So I think when he does play, he likes to
Call seat 3.
have as much fun as possible, play a lot of pots.
So what you're saying is that unlike you and Scott, he's got a proper job.
Yeah, he's got a proper job. Gets up at normal time.
Check seat
works
3.
a whole working day.
What do they say about poker? It's the hardest way to make an easy living.
Yeah, that is so true, but not really.
No, seat 3. Pass.
A few more chips for Will Dory. Well, that actually is time up for a couple of the players. Gledhill is down 960, and McPherson with a profit. They both leave us, and that is Alan Ricevich.
No, I know.
And that's you, Simon.
Yay.
Let's have a quick look at how we stand then. Scott still up more than $2,000. Fleischer, small profit. Dory, likewise, and our two new players. So, two gentlemen next to me in the commentary box. You can see on the felt in front of you. This will be interesting. I'm hoping there was some kind of collision between the two of you at some point.
Player 1 fold.
But as I know you're both extremely nitty, that's probably unlikely.
15 more.
I'm nitty. I don't know about Simon.
2 calls.
Well, we'll see.
Nobody knows my style.
Oh, this
it's a sign of a great player.
This hand's going to be a talking point.
So you just called with the king queen there.
Yeah, I've filled up from the small blind with Simon putting the straddle on, and I've got both him and Will to my left in position. And they're probably the two better cash game players at the table. I didn't want to bloat the pot. And looking back, maybe I should have opened, but we'll see what happens here.
Well, you two gentlemen are both up and down.
And Will's got the mighty 4-3 spades here, looking for some backdoor equity maybe.
Player 4 raises to 110.
So 110 from Simon. Of course, you got the best hand at the moment, Scott, with the ladies.
Yeah, no, at this point my thought process is, well, if I call here, what's going to happen on further streets? Just because I'm going to be out of position. I know he's checked the straddle, so hands like Ace-King are definitely out of the question.
2 folds.
But I just feel like his value range is going to be hands like 2 pairs and maybe even king 9, 8, 9. So I make the super nitty lay down again.
So you, let me just get this right, you folded top pair in the up and down draw there for $110.
Yeah.
Just make a note of that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see I'm not.
If you had the chance to play that hand again, obviously not knowing what Simon had, but might you have played it differently, or do you think that's still the right play?
I mean, once I limp pre-flop, I think the way I play it's not too bad, but I think I should just open the pot pre-flop. I mean, I don't know how Will and Simon would have played their hands after that, but I'm pretty sure I win it 9 times out of 10.
Having seen Scott's card, Simon, are you surprised he laid that down?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I can see what he was thinking about how is it going to play out in future streets out of position. That's the difficult thing you got to think about. And although it kind of looked like when you see the cards, it is a lot easier. But there was potential for him to be in really bad shape there. It was a strange hand because it was a straddled hand, but I don't think there was any raises, voluntary raises. So it meant that I don't know.
I feel like I couldn't call. I'd have to raise, and if I'm getting it in, I'm going to be in not great shape against the hand you're getting
probably
in with.
not. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I'm glad that hand and the 7s are out of the way. Now I don't feel like I play any hand.
Is that the end of the bad news, is it?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember playing a hand worse than that, so it's over. The painful part's over.
See, I think in some ways it's quite reassuring for amateur players at home to hear that sometimes, you know, the pros look at hands that they play and think, you know what, I maybe could have done something different.
Yeah.
Ricevic.
Hear me still talking about it.
Yeah, you are, aren't you? Ricevic 3-6 suited, and you picked up a hand here, Ace Queen Scott.
3 calls. 4 folds.
Should say that Alan Ricevic is a qualifier, so the other players will certainly be bearing that in mind.
It's nice to see him come along playing the straddle as well.
He certainly looks calm enough, doesn't he? Here's the flop.
9, 3. Play 5 checks, 6 checks, 2 checks and 3 checks. 2.
Yeah, I think this is a flop that I might have led, but it would have been heads up. But with 3 players, I feel like it's going to hit one of them at least a lot of the time. So I'm in check fold mode.
1, 2, 5 to call.
Now, Will does have a reasonable flush draw. Chandler a worse flush draw, plus he's up and down. So Dory has the best hand, but Chandler knows the only way he can win is to bet it, and there is the bet.
I mean, he's bet really small.
Does that look fishy though?
A little bit. I mean, the only problem with betting small is that he might get, like, Will might decide to bluff with his pair of 7s or something. I just probably made it slightly bigger, but it certainly looked like he wanted a call, so it was good in that sense. But I think one of the reasons it worked was because Will had Queen High.
That's true. That's true. But Chandler was still behind, so he could have given up and checked it, like some amateur players may have done. But he managed to get that small bet through and take the pot down. Straddle here from Fleischer. Straddle's almost mandatory at the moment.
No, thank you.
2 folds. Play 3 raises to 55. Play 4 folds.
Scott, your hand.
51.
Scott.
My hand. I like it.
It's become known as that since you were taken on by the 7 deuce. Well, our qualifier has a pocket pair, so absolutely fine that he would want to peel a flop off. It wasn't particularly expensive.
Yeah, no brainer for him there, I think. Easy decision.
3.
You always take the
Queen.
butt teeth.
Play 6 checks.
Well, he does have a flush draw here, and second pair to the board. But Dory is going to keep betting.
Play 6 raises to 225.
Interesting.
And 50 more to call.
Yeah, I kind of expect him just to make the call there. Kind of surprised when he decided to raise it up.
Player 3 calls.
Yeah, you see people do this a lot when they have these in-between sort of hands where he doesn't really want to fold, but he knows that if he calls, he's it's going to be, the turn of river is going to be difficult to play. It doesn't necessarily mean that raising is good, because
6 bets 4.
he's now sort of in a situation he doesn't really know if he's bluffing or not.
So what's Dory thinking? Could he have flopped a flush? Might he have 2 pair? What's he got?
Well, that's the thing now. He is thinking: has he got some sort of flush draw like with the ace of spades? Has he got a set? Has he flopped a flush? These are all possibilities. I don't think he's likely to put it on the sort of hand that he has, like sevens with a spade.
It's part of the problem with when you're playing against a qualifier that you know nothing about. The usual rules don't necessarily apply. I don't think he's completely unsure at the moment, Dory, about where he is in this hand. Looks like he's going to make the call, though, at least.
Player 3 calls.
Be fascinating to see what Mashevich does on the end here. If he doesn't hit that
4.
flush.
Player 6 checks.
Slows down. Should he value bet this, or should he just check and turn him over?
It's an interesting one. I mean, especially against a qualifier.
Player 3
He's gone for the check back.
I think I would have bet small, because I don't think he ever checks a worse hand. I mean, sorry, a better hand than aces there, really.
Yeah, the snap checks didn't seem that strong.
No. So I think maybe just in case like he had a sort of king queen with the queen of spades, or just some sort of top pair hand.
Well, it's been fascinating, gentlemen, Scott and Simon. Thank you very much. Been illuminating listening to 2 players who are actually at the table, which we don't see very often. Here's a check on how the chip stacks stand then. Scott doing very nicely. $2,000 to the good. Chandler 1,000 or so up. And Simon up a smidgen, I think we can say. Join us next time for more action in the London Cash Game.
So Scott Shelley continues his dominance here in London, but with a few wild cards still in the pack, the road to the top is about to get a great deal bumpier. See you next time.